Now, there's been a whole load of chat recently about this phrase, the 15-minute city. People have been branding it as a conspiracy, a dystopian reality, a want for the government to track and control us, etc., etc. Now, I want to see why people think so and if these fears are valid. The 15-minute city can be defined as an ideal geography where most human needs and many desires are located within a travel distance of 15 minutes by walk or cycle. So this includes your shops, schools, healthcare facilities, and leisure and stuff. They're all within reach via a 15-minute walk or cycle from any point in said city. The term was originally coined by French Colombian professor Carlos Moreno in 2021, which itself is an iteration of neighborhood units, which was formulated by American urban planner Clarence Perry back in the 1920s. The idea takes many similar identities such as the 20-minute, the T-minute, the whatever minute, low traffic city, neighborhood, or walkable neighborhood. There have been a number of examples where this has been trialed. For example, modern 15-minute city policies have been implemented in Paris, Milan, Buenos Aires, and Portland, Oregon. They've all been implemented in slightly different ways, but all follow the similar principles of reducing car usage and promoting greener modes of travel, safer roads, and healthier cities. So why are there so many people up in arms about the concept? Now, everything I say here will be alleged, just as a disclaimer. There have been people all over the gaff who have been raging about the concept, including Tory politicians calling it socialist, the incumbent Secretary of State for Transport calling it sinister, and that it would lead to people being told when they could or could not pop to the nearest Tesco or jump into their Fiat 500s. You've got hosts on GBBs labeling it deeply illiberal and un-British, and countless people on Twitter, mainly North Americans, who basically need their cars to survive or they're effed and have been shafted by the North American urban planning system and single-use zoning, big up not just bikes, complaining about how everything is so close that it takes away your freedom. What people don't realize is that having access to a car isn't freedom. Having access to a car but having the choice to use alternatives such as buses, trains and bikes is the real freedom. Now, as someone qualified in town planning, it's a bit laughable to hear these lot complain about the concept. There's constant discourse, mainly right-wing, that 15-minute cities, low traffic neighborhoods, traffic calming measures, and 20 miles an hour speed limits are all intertwined in conspiracies that the government is trying to control our every move. Don't want us to be free, want us to get rid of our freedom. This is all alleged, by the way, for legal reasons. All alleged. If you live in a city or even a town in a place that isn't the US or Canada, you'll realize that you might actually live in the equivalent of a 15-minute city. Most things you need are basically within a 15-minute walk of your location. Here we call it mixed-use development, which means you're not having to trek 5 kilometers to the nearest Tesco to get a microwave lasagna or a spare tube of Aquafresh. You just use your feet, pop downstairs, walk, and if you go real slow, you'll take just about 15 minutes to get there. Places like university campuses have proven to be great examples of unintentional but integral examples of neighbourhood planning. I think the West End of Glasgow is an amazing example. The University of Glasgow's main campus is plopped right in the middle of the West End, with the main building being the star of the show. The campus is nested within the city, creating a campus feel whilst being well integrated into the local area. So I'm literally here on Curzon Street, a street in the West End next to the university, and I could use this street as an example, like from anywhere, even from this spot right here, whatever type of service, whatever type of place, it's literally less than 15 minutes walk. I can start off on a random road, Curzon Street, look for the nearest school to take my hypothetical children. I'm not going to go to one, that's weird. Or the nearest shop to buy avocados to take home and accidentally burn. The nearest bus stop to get me away from the Glasgow uni accent for a couple of hours. Or the nearest Thai restaurant to enjoy a lonely bowl of pad Thai because I couldn't get any matches on Hinge or Bumble, so I just went by myself. There's many positives behind the concept of the 15-minute city. Most of the services you need are close to you and easy to reach. The only fuel you need is some breakfast and some juice, and your legs will take you to the nearest off-license down the road. Walking or cycling to destinations allows for less carbon emissions into the atmosphere, a boost for the local economy, where local shops, cafes, and restaurants benefit from the increase in local trade, and it fosters the possibility for a stronger sense of community. Over time, bossman at the kebab shop will remember your name and order by heart. Even with the positives, there have been groups of people who have been able to twist them in a negative light. A few of the complaints, mainly made by those on the right wing, include the thought that the government is trying to spy on us, keep us confined in our local areas, where Sishi Runak, Jacob Rog, and E. Landerson will come out and dropkick you and your dog if you dare walk 16 minutes away from home. A number of planning strategies used across the UK have fueled this rhetoric for some reason. An example is located in Oxford, where as part of the Central Oxfordshire Travel Plan, 6 new traffic filters were proposed to be placed in certain parts of the city which would track which vehicles pass through these boundaries. Fines of £70 will be dished out to certain vehicles that cross said traffic filters during specific times of the day, so that's notably 7 AM to 7 PM. Essentially, these filters would plan to control the number of journeys within a certain area, trying to discourage any unnecessary journeys. ANPR cameras would track the vehicles by their number plates, which some people had become a bit concerned about. In order to be permitted access through the filters at any time, you need to apply for a permit that gives you access for 100 days. The 6-month trial aimed to begin in 2024, but till then, there has and there will continue to be an increasing amount of criticism regarding the trial. To be fair, most of it is folks scared that this is the start of the government's plan to stop people from going 16.3 minutes down the road for their pint of Stella Artois and steak and ale pie. But there are also concerns about how these filters may limit modal choice for some groups of people, namely the disabled. Nonetheless, all the drama and tea from Oxford's traffic trial have overshadowed the fact that these are genuine attempts to make cities better connected, increasingly livable, and reduce pollution. The idea of a 20-minute neighbourhood has been implemented in Scottish planning policy, as shown in the new National Planning Framework 4, the NPF4, where the policy aim is to encourage, promote, and facilitate the application of the place principle and create connected and compact neighbourhoods where people can meet the majority. You see that? Majority of their daily needs within a reasonable distance of their home, preferably by walking, wheeling, or cycling, or just using sustainable transport options. One place in Glasgow that has been implementing 20-minute neighbourhoods is Sighthill to the north of the city. The bridge up across the motorway through into Sighthill is just behind me here. And I swear down, I've been reading about this bridge and the whole construction of the area behind me for such a long time. I've been waiting for so long just to see when you can actually cross over, use the bridge, and then actually go into the area. If you look on Google Street View or like an old version of Google Maps, you can see the old bridge that used to be here. And it is much less, I don't know, impressive than this one just here. It has been a construction site for quite a while and it's not totally finished, but you can start to see how they're building up the neighborhood into a nice little, well, a better place than what used to be there. The area is undergoing a massive redevelopment, with most of the area having been knocked down and rebuilt from scratch. The area of Sighthill was located fully in one of Glasgow's 29 CDA's comprehensive redevelopment areas of the city that were marked for demolition or renewal. The area was home to a number of industries, including the St. Rollox Chemical Works, and was home to Pinkston Power Station. It wasn't really a place where you'd want to buy a pint of milk after work. Before the current redevelopment, Sighthill was home to a group of 10 1960s-era tower blocks dotted around the area. The estate was constructed between 1964 and 1969 as part of the mass removal of slum housing in the city centre and the subsequent construction of Glasgow's many overspill estates and many new towns. Check out my video. The blocks were not built with a long-term vision in mind. They were only built to last 40 years, and not long after they were constructed, the estate was deemed a sink estate, a housing estate characterised by high levels of economic and social deprivation. The last of the blocks were demolished by 2016, and since then, work had slowly begun to take shape to develop the new Sighthill.
I don't know if you can hear me, it is quite loud above the motorway. But the one thing about Sighthill is that compared to the other side of the motorway, this is on a higher level than the actual city centre. So you're coming up on the stairs and you're coming across the bridge onto the level of the actual neighbourhood. So if you can see over there where the greenery is, it's like a hill. It goes down the hill. And they would have cleared this when they were redoing everything, when they were starting to do the construction. They got rid of all that greenery so you can actually see up into the lovely neighbourhood.
The Sighthill project is one of Glasgow's 6 transformational regeneration area projects working to regenerate housing and create new community facilities, amenities and green spaces. At a cost of $250 million, the Sighthill project is the largest regeneration project outside of London. The completed project will have delivered nearly 1,000 homes, a new community campus school, a new pedestrian bridge over the M8 connecting the area to the city centre, new green space, parks, shops and commercial space.
The one thing I'll say is that the further you walk away from the bridge, the less you can hear the motorway and the car. It feels nice, it feels peaceful, even though half of it is still a building site.
By 2015, before the completion of demolition of the old blocks, 141 homes had been built here at Fountainwell.
The thing you're gonna do with me is compare what Pinkston Road, or this spot right here, used to look like back in 2008. I'm looking towards the west, I think, northwest. So we're gonna look at what it looks like now, and then look at what it looked like back in 2008. You can say a lot has changed, huh?
The development is an example of Glasgow City Council's push towards developing livable neighbourhoods, a blend of the 20-minute neighbourhood concept with the principle of place. Livable neighbourhoods are part of Glasgow City Council's intention to transform streets through collaboration with meaningful engagement into areas where people feel they are safe, welcome, while shaping attractive environments with inclusion of measures to encourage active travel as first choice of transport. It has nothing to do with the conspiracy, but with a planning policy that allows for people to easily access services, stay healthy, and build bustling communities. It allows cities to replicate the urban fabric present across the world before cities pave the way for the automobile. A city, town, or neighborhood where you don't need to drive 30 minutes to the nearest kebab shop, doctor's surgery, or even to your mate's house should be welcomed, celebrated, and encouraged. What if you've had a couple of bevs at the pub? You'd rather a 10-minute walk rather than risking your life and others drink driving. A penny for your thoughts.
What I would say in a nutshell is that Sighthill in general, it's a long-term project. It's quite barren now and quite quiet, but over time, over the next decade or so, you'll see more houses being built, more people moving in. It's a work in progress, and it'll be very nice to see what happens in the future. Well, if you did like the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment. What do you think about 15-minute cities or 20-minute communities? Are they a conspiracy? Or is it just good urban planning that people are trying to demonize because they want their cars? I don't know. It's up to you to discuss. You guys discuss. I'll check out the comments and whatnot. Well, it's been your boy Someone Explores. I'm gonna find myself a bus or like an actual other human being because it's very empty. And I'll catch you in the next video. See you in a bit.